And now, time for weekly show with a passionate India lover, chairman of ITV Gold and Parikh Worldwide Media. Get ready for loving sharing from physician, philanthropist, publisher, and India advocate in this week.
Namaskar. Once again, it's that time of the week when we have the honor of welcoming Padma Shri recipient Dr. Sudhir Parikh in our show this week with Dr. Sudhir Parikh right here on ITV Gold. Namaskar, Doctor. How are you?
Namaskar, all viewers.
First of all, I want to congratulate you, but I know you had gone to Oslo. So I want you to talk a little bit about that what was there, what did you do?
Well, I went to Oslo because I was invited to be honored in the Nobel Prize Peace Centers in Oslo, Norway. And this prize was hosted by well-known industrialist Dr. B.K. Modi on the instruction of the Adi Sankaracharya. Singri's Adi Sankaracharya, and they selected 4 people as a global Hindu leaders. One of them was myself, Sudhir Parikh. Number 2, the Maharani of Trivandrum, Princess Gauri Lakshmi. Then well-known inspirational speaker Deepak Chopra, and Dr. Ramesh Chopra from San Francisco. And the ceremony was held in the Nobel Peace Prize Center in Oslo. And it was kind of received very well by local audience, and whole idea is to promote Hinduism in the worldwide, because Hinduism is one which has all the characteristic of the work together, be inclusive, be without any discrimination of the race, creed, or language. So I think if we all handle each and every world issue by using the Hindu Dharma principle, probably whole world will be better off. And I believe that the best weapon is you have to sit down and talk with your adversary, and to prevail the peace. So talking or negotiation is the best weapon in the world, very powerful weapon of the world, and one should follow that. And that's our Hindu Dharma believes in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and all should live happily together.
So I think once again I want to congratulate you on that. And
Thank you.
Let's move from there to our current events. Lots of things have happened, and let's start with the Operation Midnight Hammer. So, finally, US plunges into Iran and Israel war and bombarded like 3 nuclear facilities. So tell me, what does this mean?
Well, it means that in order to keep the peace in the world, not to threaten each other country, I think what USA believes, that there should not be any more new nuclear powers, and that's why because Iran kept threatening Israel and its existence all the time, and so that's why they wanted to kind of stop Iran for making nuclear plant itself is good for peaceful purpose, but not for making the more weapons out of nuclear material.
All right. So, last night there was this breaking news that a, ceasefire might have been negotiated. So do you think, are we done, or is just a calm, like before the storm?
I think it just calm, because it means this ceasefire. It means that both no country should attack each other. But because even last attack when Iran did yesterday or this morning on Isiwa in southern Israel, and I think a lot of damage happened and four innocent people died. And then Israel sent some plane to again drop the bomb in Iran. But I think President Trump told them to just bring the plane back. And they made a U-turn and they came back. And then now there is a kind of peaceful, there is a break in the hostility. And this is the time that they should sit down together and work out the formula or terms and conditions of this ceasefire. And hopefully they will do it. Otherwise, again, everything starts again.
So tell me, will this have a global economic impact? What will be the long term or short term for the global and even U.S. economy?
Well, right now, this 12 days war will not have that much of global impact. But if it would have been continued for a while, then yes, it would have been a global impact. War could be widened, it becomes even World War III. We don't know. So it's always, they say that it's very easy to start the war, but it's not easy to stop the war. So I think I'm glad that at least both the party agrees to ceasefire, and let's see where they can come up with some good terms and conditions which make the ceasefire permanent.
And, Doctor, there is a rumor also that Pakistan may have allowed its air bases to be used for help, with the U.S. attack. So what does it mean for Pakistan's stand with its Islamic allies?
No, it means that Pakistan has more interest in standing with the USA. Because USA one who just helped to get them IMF loan a couple of months ago. USA has a strategic partnership with the Pakistan, and USA needs Pakistan to control Afghanistan. So all this political thing, which is very complicated, so it's not black and white. That and Pakistan still has good relations with Iran, and then Pakistan actually offered Iran to, what I understand from one source, that Pakistan offered Iran to use their nuclear bomb in case Iran needs it.
No.
So all this thing is not a very clear-cut and straightforward thing. So just we have to understand how it works.
I was reading somewhere that, Prime Minister Modi, he called Iranian president and appealed to stop the war. So if this escalates, how should India behave between, two of its allies?
Well, I think India has a lot of interest in not to continue this war. Because India's a lot of gas, light gas and petrol, comes from the Iran. And India sells a lot of goods in Iran and imports a lot of nuts and cashews and almond and all those things from Iran to India. So I think both countries has very good trade, and they should continue that. And plus also India has good relations with the USA, and India wants to improve the relations with improve more relationship with the USA. So I think in India's interest, I think war should not be continued. Otherwise, India's economy can affect.
All right. So, let's talk about the Pakistan's airfield marshal, that is Asim Munir. He had lunch meeting with President Trump. So my question to you is Pakistan becoming again an asset US, is strategically becoming interested in?
Of course, it is always like that. It is our fault that we believe that Pakistan is not going to be asset of the USA. It's always going to be asset of the USA. And because that's US interest in Pakistan or that geopolitical area. So I'm not surprised. And they will support Pakistan, both economically and otherwise. Because they USA needs their influence on that area of the world,
So the next question that's coming to my mind is, of course, Asim Munir. He wanted to recommend President Trump for Nobel Peace Prize. And India is denying that, he had any role to play in the ceasefire. So I just want to understand what's going on.
Well, nomination, anybody can nominate anyone to Nobel Prize. So that doesn't, whether somebody objects or not objects, it doesn't mean anything. So what I'm saying is Pakistan is free to nominate Trump for Nobel Prize, and India can free to object that Nobel Prize did not do the ceasefire, but we don't know on what ground they are nominating, right? We don't know the privy to that information. So whatever it is, so that's all a different whole different thing. So anyone can nominate anybody, and anybody can object to that nomination. But at the end of the day, the Nobel Committee decides who can get the Nobel and for what.
So do you think there is like a window of opportunity to like leverage back channels and get some dialogue like going on between India and Pakistan to resolve our outstanding issues?
I think so, because that's why that Simla Accord was there. Any bilateral issue has to be sit down and resolved diplomatically. And I think we should do that wherever it's possible to resolve that. Otherwise, the conflict goes on forever.
All right, so let's move on to our rapid fire round. My first question here is from Iman. Iman from New Jersey wants to know, if Iran's ceasefire holds, is Trump going to get the Nobel Peace Prize?
We don't know.
Okay. Second question is from Shalu from California. She wants to know, is the Indus Valley Treaty getting reinstated or renegotiated?
I think probably they will sit down and renegotiate the terms and conditions of the Indus Valley.
Okay. Anil from Chicago wants to know, will the Iran ceasefire help Gaza peace plan? Yes or no?
Yes, I think so, yeah. Because I think one of the terms of the Iran will be that Israel should get out of the Gaza.
Okay. Alok from New Jersey wants to know, are we at risk of any terrorist or cyber attacks?
That's always the case. It's always the risk of the cyber attack or terrorist attack. It's always an ongoing thing.
Okay. Kuldeep from New Jersey wants to know, there is a new coronavirus variant getting into US. It's called Nimbus. So what do we know, and should we worry about it?
Well, I think, of course, the same thing one should do what we did in the COVID time, that make sure that you are vaccinated fully, whatever vaccine is available. Number two, avoid the crowd if you think that virus is here. And third thing is, if it was, then do all the precaution like mask and hygiene and all those things. And that's all you can do. And if it happens, luckily we have antiviral medication available. So I don't think anybody should get panicky and worry about it.
All right. And my last question is from Sarita from Connecticut. She wants to know, do we believe that Iran's nuclear ambitions and program is finished or just paused?
I think it's just pause.
All right. Thank you so much. But before you give out this week's message, I want to remind all our viewers that you can always follow Dr. Sudhir Parikh on Facebook. That is Dr. Parikh. And you can also follow him on Twitter. The handle is SUDPARIKH. Please go ahead.
Hi, dear friends. Really, I'm honored and privileged to receive the honor at a Nobel Peace Prize Center in Oslo, Norway. And this was kind of a recognition of identifying the global Hindu leaders. And I'm really very fortunate that I'm one of them. And because I believe that our Hindu Dharma is really a great religion which has all the great characteristic of the peace, inclusion, and help each other in the life. And the second thing, it's a good news that now there is a ceasefire between though it may be temporary, but ceasefire between the Israel and Iran, and that's a good direction that both the countries are going, and to avoid unnecessary innocent deaths. So, after saying that, please keep yourself alert and informed for what's happening in the world. And thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Till then, goodbye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.